What's up, everybody? This is Josh from themtgnoob.com, bringing you an overview of the break method of drafting. And for this short tutorial, we'll be using only cards that go with Return to Ravnica, as that's the current set, though Gate Crash is certainly right around the corner. Without further ado, you see here that we have a table where 5 people are playing Magic, and they are seriously into it, as each one is dressed in one of the 5 primary colors. I'd also like to point out that this image is credit to Justin Reed on DeviantArt. I think it's Harry Budapalm on DeviantArt if you want to check out more of his work. He's allowed us to use this image on the website, and we're also using it in this presentation as it pretty much works. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're looking at the break method of drafting, and each letter in the word break stands for an element of the drafting process. So break starts with B for bombs. Bombs are basically cards which greatly impact the flow of a game. Typically you're going to get these cards first, second, maybe third pick in a draft. Towards the end of the draft, sometimes in Pack 2 or more likely in Pack 3, you're going to end up with an opponent possibly passing bombs third or maybe even fourth pick, or maybe even beyond, just because they don't fit with his deck and he needs to build using another card. Examples of bomb cards in Return to Ravnica are Vraska, a Planeswalker, basically just an immediate Vindicate. And also, as anyone who's played with this card knows, if you allow her to stack up loyalty counters, she pretty much takes over. Another bomb card in the set is Angel of Serenity. It costs a lot at 7 mana, but basically you exile 3 cards, and then you can return the exiled cards to their owner's hands when she leaves, which you can use on your own cards and your opponent's cards, and it's also a big-bodied 5/6 flyer. So either of these cards, when they hit the field, they have the potential to immediately change the game. Next in the break method is removal. That's the R. Removal cards are cards which prevent threats from entering the game, such as counter spells, or they dispose of threats once they do enter, such as killing, giving a card or a creature -X/-X, and basically just putting them in the opponent's graveyard or exiling them. Angel of Serenity is a good example of this. 2 cards which are good removal in Return to Ravnica are Augur Spree. Target creature gets +4/-4 until the end of turn, and also Annihilating Fire, which is just 3 damage, and if a creature dies that way it's exiled, and of course Scavenge is a mechanic in the set, so exiling cards can be very beneficial. Alright, next is the E in break, and that stands for evasion. Evasion refers to cards which have some way of breaking through defenses or protecting themselves. This could include flying, intimidate, where your opponent's creatures can't block your creatures if they don't share colors. It could include shroud, where you can't remove your opponent's creature, or rather hexproof. So 2 good examples of evasion creatures in the set are Tower Drake, and it also has an activated ability. It's a 2/1 flyer for 3, or Sunspire Griffin, a nice 2/3 flyer. No activated abilities there, but it still only costs 3 for a 2/3 flyer. Okay, they're evasive, they fly, and they're difficult to bring down. Alright, next is the A in break, and that stands for abilities. Cards with abilities that are activated or triggered make them more useful than other cards. And basically, you know, a 2/2 card with no ability is just a bear, but a 2/2 with an ability is much more useful, as you see from this card, the Goblin Electromancer, where your instant and sorcery spells cost 1 less mana to cast, handy in an Izzet build, or even in a Rakdos build, or lots of builds that use Izzet mana. And also you have Trestle Troll, which is a 1/4 with reach that can regenerate. It is Defender, but it's tough to get past the Trestle Troll if the opponent leaves up the mana to regenerate it. So these are good examples of ability cards. And last in the break method we have the K, which stands for crap. I'm not sure who came up with the spelling for this, but we're going to use it. Crap refers to cards which are unremarkable, but they help a player gain enough playable cards to fill out a deck. A lot of the cards in Ravnica are ability cards. A lot of the creatures have abilities, but I've chosen two which don't, although both of these cards can be useful in the right build. The first is Catacomb Slug, a 2/6 for 5. It's got a big tail end. Not maybe in the picture, it looks like his front end is a little bit bigger than the tail end, but he doesn't have an ability. He could maybe fill out a curve, but it's not a card you're really wanting to play, probably. And the other card is Cobble Brute, a 5/2. A lot of stuff blocks this guy out and kills it, but you know, I mean, he doesn't have an ability. He helps you fill a curve at the 4 slot, and if you throw something on him like Pursuit of Flight, he can be pretty handy. So this is basically the break method of drafting, and this presentation was brought to you by Planeswalkers Library, which is our sponsor at themtgnoob.com. Please visit them. They've got quick shipping and reasonable prices and daily deals, so check them out. But also I want to touch on just a couple more things before I let you go. First of all, in addition to break drafting, you're going to want to make sure that your cards have some theme or purpose and fit well together, and then sometimes even crap cards like Cobble Brute can be an integral part of your strategy. So the break method is not the only thing you need to do to build a good deck. Also, signaling is a thing in drafting where the people sitting next to you in the order in which you pass packs will tell you what maybe the person next to you is drafting and what they are not drafting by the colors and types of cards you're getting from them. So reading signals is also an important element in drafting. And last is hate drafting, where if you don't have a card if you have a card in the pack that you could take, but you're absolutely certain you're not going to take it, for example, Urban Burgeoning is not a good reason just to take a green card. Sometimes it's better to hate draft an opponent's pick in case you end up playing that person. I don't necessarily espouse that method, but some people do, and I guess it's effective in some instances. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. But what we're going to do now is Chris and I, the MTG Noob, got together for Return to Ravnica draft, and I'm going to show you the draft picks, and we're going to talk about them, and then we'll show you a sample match using the break method. So this is Josh from themtgnoob.com, and thanks for watching.